AA boys Pool B matchup. It's Wellington College in the yellow strip taking on Christ College, the champions from Canterbury. Both teams are coming off wins, albeit a little bit close for both of them, but this is a must-win game for either of these two teams.
Yeah, and also in a pool that there could be three-way ties. Not only do you need a win, you also need to try to win by as much as you possibly can.
There's Sione on the little drive. Long range three there from Jaden Taufali. Darling comes away with it. An early foul there for Lele Tato from Wellington College, transferred from Tawa College last year. Won't want him to really pick up too many fouls early on. He is a key player in their team.
Yeah, I mean, whoever gets into foul trouble between Darling and Lele, I mean, it's going to be huge as we see triple post as they go into Darling to go to work on the interior early. Whoever can win that battle, you can see why it's so pivotal, because that's the skill that they have.
Max Darling, he's come across from Nelson College, I believe, to join Christ College. So a bit of player movement in both of these two teams. Sione well defended on the drive.
And a lovely finish there for Christ.
William Harrison, number 6.
One of the under-19 Canterbury reps as we see him driving past Kieran Paul and initiating the contact, and a lovely little finish. He made the tournament team a year ago at under-17 level, so he is a highly touted player.
Good looking stroke on him. Adds the extras. Early lead here for Christ College. Sione just breaking some ankles there. Taufali from the corner. He is their designated three-point shooter, the man with the purple shoes. Been coached against this Wellington College side a couple of times in the Wellington competition. He's definitely one you can't really leave open on the perimeter. Good pressure there from Kieran Andrews-Paul. He's another live wire player for this Cole side who's a real key, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, converting across from rugby, the Masterton product, very, very athletic.
Not a bad three-point shooter either. There's the little ISO play for Lele. Well defended from Christ College. There's a look at Mark Dickel. Such a competitor. Played against him, played with him. And he is definitely one not to back down for anyone. As we see De Geest launch from long range. There is Salo Taufali, head coach for the Dub C team. As we see Sione get loose.
Yeah, and Sione, he hit the game winner when they won the Pollen Cup for the first time since 1995. That is the championship in the Wellington region. And Sione had 20 points in that narrow win over St. Pat's Kilburney and hit the game winner. So his confidence in a clutch situation will be high.
I believe he trained with the Saints earlier in the year.
A little bit, but it's hard to hang with the likes of Shea Ely, Isaac Latoa, Jackson Stubbins. It's not an easy point guard lineup to train against.
Great one if you want to get better. As we see Kieran comes away hobbling. Let's hope he's okay. Out of bounds for yellow. Wellington Cole. And lots of hands in there. Number 10, Jackson Stewart, gets called for the foul. Good tenacity shown there from Sione.
Yeah, of course, we mentioned Isaac Latoa before he went to Westlake. His family moved up from Wellington to Auckland. He was a Dub C old boy and just recently made the Tall Blacks. So I'm sure Isaac will be checking in from Dartmouth, where he's now a freshman.
Hustle. Lele hits the deck, as does Jackson Stewart for Christ College. Motions the call from Sparky Dickel.
We see their shuffle set here. They're going to bring their shooter, Harrison, off a stagger down screen.
turnover. Wellington College down by 1 early in this first quarter. AA boys Pool B matchup. Here's Lele, a little bit of a shake and bake. He can shoot that mid-range jumper. De Geest. Great find there and great gather and finish. Darling showing some great skills.
Yeah, he got a little bit of minutes for Coach Sparky Dickel at the Canterbury Rams level and did really well when he got those opportunities earlier this year in NBL.
Stewart to Darling. Late shot clock here, 5 seconds. Not the best of offensive sets there from Christ College. They'll be wanting to do a little bit better than that.
Jaden Tafali did a great job denying the reversal and broke up the offense. Little 17 flash there as former coach Danny Page must have installed that from our national program before he got an opportunity to go and coach in Asia and turn the team over to his assistant Salo.
There's Salo, Taufali. Lots of history in that basketball family. Taufali from the corner, the next generation of Taufalis. Here's De Geest. Little horn set coming here. Well defended from WC and good run out there.
Sione Halu is a very good kick ahead passer. He really keeps his eyes up and he will see all those opportunities if his teammates run.
Motion again, you look for the little shuffle. Max Darling was open last time and they ran that. There he goes. They get the ball into good position from Stewart with the pass, but that shuffle action, that could be a good play for them to go to. Get Starling the ball right down where you want him in the deep catch there. And it's going to be tough to stop if they can get that past him.
And if they tag that foul on Lele, that would be his second personal. You see that Wellington College has made a sub to get bigger. Haven Dixon sometimes plays at the 4, but he's subbed on for Tafali at this situation to play the 3. So they're trying to get more length on the court to deal with Darling's interior presence.
Interesting to see how that unfolds. There's Jaden Tafali, here's Haven. Good look there. Nice rebound from Lele. And Haven gets go-go gadget arms going. Sione with the pull-up. They're crashing the O boards hard. But nothing to show for their efforts there. Christ College, 3 points to lead. Stewart gets it blocked. Well broken up there, Christ College. Most teams have a roster of 12, just 9 for this Christ College team.
They really only play basically their starters, so if these guys are going to win today, they're going to really have to dig deep in their second game, basically playing 40 minutes each.
It's a tough ask at this tournament because it is such a big tournament. 5 games over the first 3 days for most teams.
Every team in AA competition will play those 5 games across the first 3. So it really is a war of attrition.
Darling looking to get something going. On the kick out, that's Jackson Stewart. Coast to coast, that's what Sione does so well. I know when Rongotai played them in the Wellington comp, it was a feature of our scout, was really getting back in numbers to stop Sioni's penetration.
And here's another person who's tough in transition, and that's Kieran Andrews, Paul. He's super quick as well, but maybe not quite the finisher.
To Geese to Darling. It's a little bit stagnant here. 10 on the shot clock. De Geest from the corner. They look a little tired, does Christ College. Haven. He can shoot the three. He's a good three-point shooter. Shot clock winding down. Tompkinson. Really good from mid-range is William Tompkinson. Another horn set here from Christ College. They pop Darling for an open three, and he obliges. Good-looking shot. He's a good shooter from outside.
Yeah, he can face up a little bit. I mean, it's probably not his forte, but he has to be respected, and he can make plays off the bounce.
Lele Tato, he can shoot that three. It's probably good for like 2 or 3 attempts a game.
He prefers it right straight on, though.
Geese, another miss. Here's Sioni on the push out. There we go. There's the strength of the Wellington College side. Their athletic play of Sioni and Kieran Andrews Paul, just able to get the ball and push.
Yeah, and we see Sioni here hitting it with that little shimmy and back to the right to left Euro step. Isn't quite able to convert coming back to his left hand, but is able to draw the foul. Been a busy boy this year as the deputy head boy. It's Dub C's 150th anniversary as a school, so been a lot of ceremonial duties for Sioni to perform around his academics and his basketball.
Subs in for Wellington College. Darling on a pretty backdoor pass, and De Geest gets a lucky roll of the dice there.
Not sure if it should count.
He hung on to the hoop a little bit. I think that was to keep his balance. Nice kick out from Sioni. That's Villalobos Santana with the miss.
Yeah, he's more of a defensive specialist, not the best shooter.
Darling, Maxwell Darling, great set of skills shown there. He's a big unit, not afraid to put it on the deck.
Yeah, and he really wants to get back to his right hand if he can, so Billy Tompkinson really needs to read the scout, push him back left. They're running that elbow isolation to go right at Billy. You know, they've run it previous position for the back door off the corner, now for the isolation. Going to probably keep coming to it as long as they get productivity out of it.
Rejects the screen. It's all the way to the rim, no call. We'll go again to that side, a little two-man game. De Geest unable to find his range early on. Don't expect that to last. Tompkinson, free throw line jumper. That's money.
And he is a scorer. I mean, that's what he offers.
There's Wellington under 19 rep this year. Haven with the pressure. De Geest on the pull-up. 5 points, the lead. They'll wind it down for the last shot. Sioni with a deep three, and the quarter comes to a close. Christchurch Christ College rather, up 18-13 over Dub C. Five points the lead for Christ College over Wellington College. This AA boys Pool B matchup. Both teams coming off a win played earlier this morning. Wellington College getting up over New Plymouth boys. And in the South Island Derby, it was Christ College getting a win over Kashmir in their first game, so both undefeated. It's Hayden Dixon for Wellington College.
Yeah, and I think Christ will be really happy with how this first quarter has progressed.
Tompkinson, you know that's his strength. One of the leading scorers for Wellington College throughout the Wellington competition. There's William Tompkinson. Nice little set there to free up Tom Crutchley, that was.
Under 19 Canterbury rep, they run their quick set to get that catch. Sparky using the same play package as he used with Rams during NBL.
Makes sense. Good pressure coming there from the Christ College guards. They force a turnover, well done. Almost 3 seconds on the shot clock. Wellington College retain possession. They go down low into William Tompkinson. He's had the hot hand, not that time.
Yeah, he almost took out our camera work at the back of that hoop.
Christ College in the white strip. They get a nice little catch there again for Tom Crutchley.
Yeah, Coach Tafali and his team, they're going to probably need to talk through how they're going to guard some of these actions, because at the moment, Christ College is pretty much getting what they would like to get when they want to get it.
It's good execution so far. Nifty footwork, almost pulled it off. Tato.
Christ College just completely disregarding the stretch for Haven Dixon on the perimeter to double down on the post up.
There's the Geese again. Andrews Paul on the push for Wellington College. Calls Lele into an early on ball. Just a bit out of sorts here, Wellington College, with this period of play.
Yeah, a lot of bench players on at the same time, so we see that they're trying to sub back in their two starting guards, but they've been caught on the scorers table for a long time because there hasn't been a stoppage, and as that occurs, we see Maxwell Darling and that Quicks play continue to extend the lead.
Lele, Tato. Kent Royds draws contact on that drive. Some subs coming in. Sione checks back in, as does Jaden Taufali. Well executed play out of the timeout there, out of the baseline. Haven Dixon. Risky pass, that cross court, especially with Andrews Paul in there. Unable to convert though, those are costly errors.
Yeah, we've seen multiple missed layups by Dub C. It's preventing them from extending the score. It was a very good job of the guy guarding the 2-on-1. He had a choice between making the smaller Andrews Paul and Halou make the shot, and he forced it to be the smaller guy who struggled to finish. They need to talk about that, so timeout. Christ College up 7.
No, you can easily bring it up, and you're totally fine. You're going to bring it up on that, right? Or can we just stay with the play that works? So if we call pick Max, if he dribbles you out, you just screen for Max to go, and it's okay. If he's going to do that, you just come to the 3-point line and take your guy because Will's picked his dribble up. If it ends up like that, somebody's got to come to Will to make himself available. You're better just to hold the ball and let it be a 5-second call than you are to throw a life.
I'll do 1, 2, 3.
Go, everyone go. Let's go. Go. Stay together. 1, 2, 3, 2. Hey, let's do it, come on. Hey, let's fight here, right?
7 points the advantage for Christ College in the white strip. They go deep out of the timeout into Le Tato.
They did a good job. They've been running that UCLA duck play that was clearly well scouted by Christ. They changed the action that led to that duck in, and they were able to catch them by surprise.
Hands in the cookie jar there from Jaden Taufale. He gets his team another possession. They go again, looking for that quick little big-to-big duck-in play. A lot of contact there, not called. Nice College with a little screen and flare action for the shooter. Well kicked ahead from the lane. Nice little assist there.
We see Dub C when they've had their starters and they've been in a much stronger position, but when they go to that heavy bench unit, they really struggled. So hopefully they work out the units that they need to play going forward in this game.
5 seconds on the shot clock. The Geese going to have to get busy. Going to have to shoot it. They get it off just in time. Sione probing. Haven Dixon. Sparky Dickel calling for over the back call.
Gets a warning from referee Brad Clive. It would be interesting to see how that little battle of wits plays out as it progresses between the referees and Coach Dickel.
Darling looking to go to work. Feels like he's got an advantage there, and Dixon comes down with it. Really good at drawing contact is Sione. That time, sideline on ball and gets in deep to the lane and just attacks the big fella. That's what you want.
Yeah, and Darling feels like it was clean, but it looked to me like he caught him on the back of the head, so it's a good foul call by the officials.
Good with the second. It's all tied up here. Second quarter.
7-0 run for Dub C to bring it back to being even pigging.
Stagger action to free up the Geese. Darling lets it fly from deep. Dub C a chance to get the lead. Haven Dixon just loses the handle there.
Yeah, Tom Crutchley did a good job of holding his ground and taking contact in the chest.
Stewart out front for Christ College. And they go back to a little stagger action. De Geest with the pull-up. Pretty. See why American colleges have been after that boy. Max De Geest. Big future.
Yeah, well, he's going to have the opportunity to build one.
Three-second violation called on Lele Toto.
They're doing a really good job, Dub C, of pressuring the post feeders. They're trying to use their best players, the likes of Harrison and De Geest, to be the screeners and the shooters, and that's leaving their lesser perimeter players to have to be the feeders. And Dub C's doing a good job of pressuring them and making it hard for them to enter the offense.
Andrews ball with a pretty backdoor play to Sione Hilu. They work so well together, those two. They were the keys to stopping Dub C when we played them. It was getting Sione and Kieran Andrews' ball under control. And here you can see just a nice little backdoor pass right on the money.
Yeah, and Jackson Stewart out at Invercargill, I don't think he's marked too many athletes down those parts, the like of Hilu.
Christ College still with the three-point advantage. 4 minutes to play in this second quarter. Big ramifications in this matchup. Knowing that Palmerston North Boys is one of the other teams in the pool, as we see a pretty little layup there from Maxwell Darling.
Though, as we speak, Palmy boys are engaged in a very close tussle with Kashmir, which is another game in this pool. If you're wanting to track all the results around the traps on Twitter, hashtag ShipChamps or at BasketballNZ, they'll have all the information there for you to see what's going on.
Managed to miraculously keep that ball in play. Here's De Geest. Straight on, pull-up three. Great job on the glass there. It's Sam Julian.
Yellow 5, hold, white.
I think that could be on Lele, and if it is, it likely is his third foul.
It is. We've called 11. It wasn't on that one, it was this one here. And Lele there, you can just see top of your screen, just put his right hand in.
It's his second foul, so not quite as perilous as we thought.
You can see the man doing all the damages. Darling, what an imposing figure he is. And you can see just the range of skills. He's had drives to the basket, he's had little post moves, he's had little duck-ins. He's defended quite well at the other end.
Yeah, I mean, they've really struggled to get any post-ups out of Lele. They got the one coming out of timeout, but other than that, they really haven't been able to get any productivity out of that matchup.
Sam Julian on Sione. He gets loose.
Every eyeball in the Christ defense is on Sione. If Wellington College back cuts against his isolations, they should be able to find easy layups, but they're just staying static, and every one of them is watching him as well.
Pretty little floater from Max De Geest. He's got some skills. It's the first time I've seen him play. His dad and the De Geest family are big supporters of basketball.
His dad sitting down on the end of the bench in the
blue shirt. Yep. It's got a the Geese bathrooms, well-known business down near Oamaru. There he is, Brian de Geese. If you pick up games against that guy, you can see he's probably had his nose broken a few times, as old Brian, but his son's doing very well. Here he is with the ball. Nice little pull-up on cue. There we go, Max de Geese.
He's been getting to that right-hand 15-foot pull-up at will, and he's been knocking it down. So they're going to have to push him left or get a little bit more help from the big in those pick and rolls. But they'll be reluctant to do so because that'll open up Darling. Tafali gets fouled on that three-point attempt as he gets chopped in the crown jewels.
Seems to be all right. And here's de Geese again, going to his right, and with the step back this time. Back-to-back buckets for Max de Geese. All of a sudden, it's 9 points the advantage for Christ College.
And Sam Julian doing everything that he can to try to stop Sione Halu getting the ball, but he comes on a second side handoff and is able to draw the foul.
It's always nice when you've got a you know, maybe a bench player that comes in and really does a good job for you on the defensive end, and he's really come in and put the heat on Sione. We'll take a break. It's Christ College 36 over Wellington College 27.
So what we do here is we do the drag. Drag, Jen comes here, come off, Jen, you come off the drag, Jen, you come up. But look for the money. That's what we want. He's got to pass him in the hand. Yeah? Go put it in the bucket. On the defensive end, you can't sit back and water those screens. You have to be up so you can pass the ball out. Yeah?
We know this. We know this front. Hit up on.
Top seal, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Top seal.
9 points, the deficit for Dub C. The yellow strip, they run a little stagger action. Get Sione out of the corner. Well run play. Christ College, here's the hot man at the moment. It's Max de Geese with the ball, calling the shots. Little flare screen action.
Yeah, but they had the backside corner filled, which meant there was no real space for it to occur.
Corner 3 ball, nothing. Well picked up from Crutchley. It'll be a shot clock violation. Farley still unable to connect. Sigh of relief as they get a foul call.
It was a great offensive board by Sione Halu as a point guard, able to go up in traffic and get offensive rebound. Pretty valuable skill to have.
Oh, he's definitely got hops. There's Sione. Here's a look at Lele. Tato. Samoan national team member.
Yeah, at under 18 Oceania Championships. I believe he's played for Samoa at that event twice now.
Coached Lele a little bit last year in a tournament. Took him up to Hastings and very efficient in the post. And as we've mentioned before, he does have a little mid-range jumper. Still got another year at school, and it's timeout taken from Christ College. Just trying to protect this lead. They're up 36 over Wellington College on 28.
Tom, you're going to screen for him to loop. You got it? Yeah. Now, Tom, as soon as you set that screen, you've got to come back to the ball. Will, if you don't get it, you guys go hand off and you're bringing it up. If Max gets it, you come up. Max, I want you to come and set a flat screen for him here at half court. If he's got him beat, you don't need to screen anyone. It's only if his player is on it. You just stand at half court and you try and...
You're up the front. Front. There's usually two guys up here. Yeah. Find the man, you go up the front. Don't overshoot him. Head and foot. Yeah. But late, you just got to be on their pressure, yeah?
Let's go 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see.
7.8 seconds left. Wellington College with a foul to give. Darling, they don't use that foul. And the shot clock will wind down, and it's an advantage to Christ College, up 36 over Wellington College, 28 at the end of the second period. Christ College in the white strip, taking on Wellington College. It's AA action from boys Pool B. And Christ College, 8 points the advantage to start this third period, and straight away we see the quick hands of Kieran Andrews-Paul cut that to 6 in the blink of an eye.
Dub C talked about at half-time how they felt like they hadn't put any heat on Christ College and whether they could handle it if they did. Well, we see they're clearly going to at least try to find out with some ball pressure to start this third quarter.
There's the little ISO play, ends up near and 3. Miraculous save there, and the shot clock will go off, violation. Dub C will be looking to get a score out of this. Sam Julian there on the right hand, on the right of your screen rather. Did a good job defensively.
They're not running that triple post action to try to get that jumper.
No. Looked like Lele missed that cross screen from Sione there. See if they run it again. There you go. Backdoor flash action. There's the seal. And great execution there, and one. That was better execution.
That's the best execution I've had, is really been patient and thrown the ball to only where Lele could catch it, and Darling had no chance to make a play on the ball.
One shot.
Anytime you run that big feeder from the high-low, it's hard for him to help out. You've got to get help from the corners or the guards. Christ College now, just 3 points to lead, and they try and run their own little post-up. Crutchley gets loose. Good position from him. And here comes Dub C. This is where they're dangerous. Tompkinson, look for a quick timeout to come from Sparky if they keep scoring.
You saw Christ College try to commit a Euro foul because they were too tired to get back. That's not a good sign. You know, these guys play almost the whole game. So this 5, they're going to have to continue to work hard in D-Trans no matter how tired they might be feeling.
Max de Geest here, the hot hand to finish the half. Does a good job of scrapping away to get that possession again. Gives him another look at a 3, and that's good.
Deserved to go in based on the hustle he did to keep the possession alive.
You like that determination shown there from Max de Geest. Again, they look to go inside. Max Darling doing everything he can to stop that post entry. Here's a look at Max de Geest.
10. Stay straight, go forward.
Delay off with the short range jumper. Max de Geest out front for Christ College. Little stagger action. Double screen away there. Well defended from Dub C. Important they don't pick up a late foul as they get the shot off in time.
Not the prettiest fast break you'll ever witness.
No. Game just poised until there. Max de Geest finding his range again. They've really got to lock in on him. You can't give him open looks. He's definitely too good a shooter for that.
Yeah, him and Darling have got, I would suggest, 75 to 80% of Christ's points.
Sione looking to get into the lane. Pretty pass. Relays up to it with a nice catch and finish.
Yeah, Lale's got some good hands and he really finishes and passes well when it gets onto his right hand. Sione's lost de Geest again.
Don't really want to gamble off him on the perimeter, especially after he's hit a couple of triples.
Yeah, I mean, it was a chain reaction. Lale gambled on Darling's post entry and then Sione had to rotate a little bit. They just need to stay sound.
De Geest took a little bit of a knock there as we see Darling. Good steal there from Lale. There's a little professional foul on the halfway line. Jackson Stewart.
White 10, 2 hands on, yellow ball.
I think New Zealand players are cottoning on to that a little bit more, that little professional foul to stop the fast breaks.
Though it's Stewart's third personal foul apparently, so it's a little bit questionable because they don't have a lot of depth. If some of their starters foul out, they're not able to cover for that like some of the teams at this tournament can.
Just 9 on the roster for Christ College. And pretty much all other teams here that I've seen have got the full quota of 12 players. So will that be a factor? We'll find out. Shot clock at 6. Sione to the basket. They'll retain possession with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Enough for a little catch and shoot or a little move.
2 seconds, here we go.
See what they come up with. Tompkinson. That's all he could do was catch and shoot. Crutchley was there. Back to within 3 now, Wellington College. There's de Geest. Comes off. He's got way too much room off that handoff.
And we've seen every time that he's off the dribble going right, he's been pretty money.
Just looking to force things a little bit too much there. Come away with a steal though. Cole back on the attack. Well defended there. Jackson Stewart, really good active hands on Sione. He's doing a good job.
And Isaac Bird just shirt-tailing Sione incredibly tightly. In combination, those two forcing the turnover.
2-man game again with de Geest and Darling. Tompkinson. It's his shot.
Crutchley did a really good job of stunting at the 17-foot mid-range and staying attached to Tafali on the corner 3.
De Geest with the shot clock at 5. Darling's going to have to get it up. They're getting stops, Wellington College. Get something going at this offensive end. Again, it's well broken up from Stewart, I believe. Again. Busy, active hands for him.
Yeah, they're working as hard as they can to take it out of Sioni's hands.
There's Darling. So they roll the post player to the basket. Again, that nifty little play. Farley. Well, he's keeping them in the ball game as William Tompkinson, really hustling his way down there, doing the dirty work, getting the O-boards, getting the kickouts.
Yeah, he is a good offensive rebounder, Billy Tompkinson. It's where he gets a lot of his points, his second chance, and he has also hit the little mid-range jumpers. We saw him beat the shot clock only about a minute or two ago.
Team from Greymouth, that was Greymouth, a team from the Single A boys competition.
Big win this morning over Manukura. They'll be feeling good about themselves.
Darling crosses the timeline. Here's Stewart.
Hands here, no hands, don't put through.
Again, they go to the same play and they get Darling in fantastic position again. Just too big and too strong. He is a junior tall black. He's a legitimate 5.
Well, probably not in their core, because you're looking at Angus McWilliam at 6'10" and Callum McRae at 7'1", and he didn't ultimately make the 12 for Egypt, but he was in the squad, and maybe that's the fact. He's an undersized 5-man.
Yep. I haven't really seen enough for him to show us that he's a stretch 4, or able to stretch the court with his perimeter shot, but definitely at the high school level, he's a force to be, you know, dealt with down in that low block position.
And every time they run that quicks play, they're just getting him the ball wherever they want. Dub C really needs to address that play and come up with a strategy as to how they're going to defend it. No surprise that Christ runs some good plays. Mark Dickel, he's played in 9 different countries in his professional career. Some of the biggest clubs in the world, the likes of Fenerbahce, for example, who won the EuroLeague last year. 12 years of Tall Black, 94 to 06. So somewhere along the line, he's probably picked up a couple of decent sets.
One stage, he was assistant coach with the Albanian national team, I believe that's right. Memory serves me right. Back in the 2012 era. Obviously, very, very accomplished collegiate player in America. Was one of the superstars for his UNLV team. Led the entire NCAA in assists in his senior year, I think.
Yep, 9 a game. Pretty easy when you can just throw lobs to Sean Marion.
You see another big outside shot from Max de Geest. He's cooking at the moment. 13 points, the lead for Christ College. Tompkinson with the little step back fadeaway.
They really would rather get a better shot than that on the post-up. You see Darling turns it into a 1-inch layup every time.
They get out of jail. They use their get out of jail card as Haven Dixon puts in a nice little put back there. 11-point lead for Christ College. Stewart. Sylvain his option. There's the money man. Max de Geest. Step back for 2. Andrews, Paul. UCLA cut, and there's the duck-in play. Talfali still unable to connect from outside. That's really hurting him, that lack of outside shot.
Yeah, they could do with that, and if Haven Dixon had done a better job transferring that ball to his right hand, he would have been able to find Tompkinson on the duck-in.
He goes upstairs, does Maxwell Darling. Rattles the rim work. 13 points to lead. extending out again for Christ College in the white strip, taking on Wellington College. Good steal here from Maxwell Darling. And here Mark Dickel barking out the orders. One shot.
They're going to go isolation here for the Geese.
Unable to get a shot off, and it's a handy lead for Christ College, up 55 over Wellington College on 42. Day one in Wellington College in a fight for their survival really in this pool. Down by 13 points to this Christ College team. But with Palmy North boys, another of the teams in this pool, it's really important that one of these teams obviously gets the W. And at the moment, it's Christ College with the advantage. What do Wellington College have to do to get back in this game, Zico?
Well, for one, they have to deal with Maxwell Darling. They have to defend that quicks play and take away his post catches. They have to deal with the cross screens and the fist play and take away his post catches through that. And then I think really they need to get the ball in the hands of Sione Halu. Christ College is working hard to make it difficult for them to get Sione the ball, but he's still getting guarded by one person. If he's good enough, he'll get catches.
Another good stop there from Christ College as they look to extend this lead. Been impressed with the Jackson Stewart. Just steady Eddie at the point guard for Christ College. Running the sets. Nothing too flashy, but you always like a guy he's under control at that point guard spot.
Yeah, New Zealand Development Tour member 2 years ago. Really good fella, very diligent. No surprises that Coach Dickel likes him in his program.
There's Tompkinson. Can he start lighting it up to get Cole back in this ball game? Normally they press a little bit. Wellington College, in my experience. There's a foul on the three-point shooter. Tim Kent voids with the contact on Max de Geest. I was going to say he's got 20 plus points there. You see it, 5 triples, 5 torpedoes for 27 points. His dad could definitely stroke it. He definitely could shoot the ball very well. Brian de Geest on the end of the bench for Christ College. And so too can his son, Max de Geest.
Long Beach State, Division 1. Small program. He's just signed a scholarship to go there, so there's his dad on shot. He'll be really proud of his boy, and the biggest reason I'd imagine that they want him in terms of his skill set is that ability to knock down the perimeter jumper.
Cole, a little stack screen out the top there, and there's Sione just trying to wheel his way into the basket. You've really got to get something going here at Wellington College.
Well, and every single other player on their team are just standing around on the three-point line watching Sione, so Christ is able to help a lot. They have to make sure that they're looking at back cut and give Sione some passing options, because otherwise it's 1-on-5 and it's not that easy to score in that situation.
Fantastic athletic play there from Maxwell Darling. The block on Lele, and there we see another big block coming from Maxwell Darling. I think he put his hand up to register a foul, but no call. You can see the replay here. It's a pretty good challenge, actually. Got a lot of ball.
Very much this game being played in Christ's context. They're coming down, running their plays, and Dubsy are trying to stop them, but they're really going to need to bring some more pressure. Otherwise, the guys are going to just be way too comfortable as we see the Geese hit another shot. This is kind of like a practice game for Christ because they're just running their plays and doing the breakdown drills that they've done all year. Dubsy's going to need to be a lot more disruptive and break up their timing and spacing, and they're going to probably have to do that with pressure on the advance.
No call, but again, a lot of standing round for Wellington College. Just unable to get a rhythm because of, I'm not sure whether it's because of the sets they're running. I don't think the defense for Christ College is solid, but I think Wellington College really got to do a better job of executing with a bit more urgency and getting to their spots. Timeout taken, Christ College up 62 over Wellington College on 44.
Tom, and you're going to be this guy. So this is Jackson, this is you, Max, this is Tom, this is Max, and this is you, Will. Okay, so on this one here, Tom, look, if it's not there, we just go to that action. Now, once you get it, Max, that's a finish to the play now, because we're taking so long to get it up. So everyone just flatten out and let them go to work. But we can rebound, so right? I'm on what side am I? You start on the right-hand side and screen for him. It's okay, we'll work on it tomorrow. Team, 1, 2, 3, 2.
On fire so far in this ball game has been Max de Geest, number 5 for the Christ College. A little bit of everything. You've got to have that floater in your repertoire as a guard these days. He's definitely got the perimeter outside shot. Great going to his right. Got a little step back, and there's his straight on 3. Free throws look pretty money. And Zico, he's off to Long Beach State. But really, he's one of the best shooters we've seen so far in this competition.
Yeah, on day one of the games, we've seen this has been the best shooting performance, and that was his reputation coming in. So, big game player, he's able to deliver.
Set up a corner triple there, no good. Haven Dixon tries to corral the rebound, and Darling again. He's doing a bit of everything for this Christ College team. He was at Nelson College last year, transferred over to Christ College this year. Go down low to Crutchley. Pretty little spin move along the baseline. Tom Crutchley.
Yeah, well, they obviously picked out Haven, who is known as being a good defender, but they obviously decided they had an advantage there because as soon as they got that catch, Sparky was really encouraging Crutchley to go to work.
Drops the first, does Tom Crutchley. Extends the lead out. 19 points, the difference. Sione called for the carry ball there. He's got good handles, but not that good.
Yeah, normally when you do a crossover above your head, it's going to probably draw some kind of attention from the referees, and with time running down and not many chances to make a difference in this game, Dubsy calls a timeout to look to eat into this 19-point deficit.
Screen and dribble it hard here. Max, I want you to go when Jackson gets to about here. So, and what you do is you just keep your dribble. You go dribble, just back to this. Right, give Tom a good look. Now, Max, I want you to stand here and screen across for Max to be so that he loops up like that because Jackson's so low now. Now, Max, if you shoot, you're open. But also look right for Tom. If not, flatten out. We let him go one-on-one. Let's go. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, 2.
19 points, the difference for Christ College over Wellington College in this Pool B AA matchup at the SHIP Championship for 2017. Christ College will be hoping they can close this game out in a pretty tight pool as we see Crutchley. Nice little execution out of the timeout with a little jumper.
Yeah, well, they've been working him on that cross screen to get him those little short baseline catches and finding productivity.
Football called. Wellington College. Line is the call. Haven Dixon for 3. Really, still they continue to struggle to find some consistent shooter from their team. They've really needed that outside shot. Then they go with a little cross screen down low.
Well, I'm not sure if that was junk defense there from Wellington College, or I suspect that some of them are a man and some of them are in zone, and their confusion led to confusion for Christ's.
Everybody's confused. Sione out front. Another little into a stagger action.
Nice cut. We talked about that the Christ College is ball watching a lot, and none of them, as Jaden Tafali is going to get called for a reach in, none of them are cutting off the ball. So they're not punishing them for the ball watching. And finally, Jaden Tafali made a cut, and he had an easy layup.
Just real stagnant offense coming from Wellington College. Can they dent into this lead? They need a couple of stops here. Christ College back to their little shuffle action.
Second side back screen for Darling's going to be problematic here.
Max Darling. Invariably their sets end with the ball in his hands for those late shot clock plays.
Yeah, Max Darling on the interior, Max the Geest on the perimeter. They're running that max offense, getting max results.
It's having maximum effect.
Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Drops the second, extends their lead. 23 points the difference for Christ College over Wellington College in the yellow strip. Haven Dixon, no way through Crutchley there, as finally Jaden Taufali nails a perimeter jumper.
And that's what he does exceptionally well, so they're going to need him to show about 4 or 5 more in this remaining 4 minutes.
Oh, just coming up a little bit gingerly there, but having his way, he's getting anything he wants.
Yeah, back to that right hand jump hook as Sione Helu with a nice mid-range pull-up.
Back to 20 points, the difference. Both teams are coming off a win in this morning's round. As we see Max de Geest get all the way to the rim.
And by nature of this pool, Kashmir, a very capable team. Wellington College, okay, they'll be disappointed in this game, but they can play significantly better. Christ will be very pleased with this, having wins against both those teams now. But there's still the potential with this pool being quite even that 3-way ties and little things like that might come in. So Christ's mission here is to win by as much as they can. And every point that Cole can eat into this lead, even if it doesn't result in a win, could be important come tomorrow.
You just never know what's going to happen at these tournaments, regionals or nationals. You know, and you've just got to have your wits about you, and you know, end of the game, you've got to look at those points differentials and spreads and different scenarios, most definitely. Christ College, Jackson Stewart there's controlled the point very well for Christ College. Backdoor play. Darling in the background there gets a well-earned rest. You don't think we'll see him again with such a big lead for Christ College.
Yeah, well, with that little ankle tweak, they're not going to want to risk him at this stage. I'm sure it'll be fine, but precautionary measures.
3 minutes to play in this AA boys Pool B matchup. Max de Geese controlling things. See what they run with this set.
Well, they're just trying to take the air out of the basketball, and
they will send him to the line. They are in the bonus, so maybe that's a foul to get the young fella in, Caleb McDonald.
yeah, under 15 player, still a year 10. He went over to the John Lucas camp in Houston earlier this year along with Caslow Evans Jr. So what an amazing opportunity to go and play all the best under 13 players in the States. So that was a great opportunity for Caleb, and he now gets the opportunity to show what he can do at the senior level.
Villalobos Santana at the point for Wellington College. There's a little duck in, this time for Haven Dixon. And there is Caleb McDonald's first shot.
A little bit nervous, the young fella in a big situation here for him.
Stewart to De Geest. A long ball with Crutchley. And great looking form.
I believe that's 39 he now has of the 75, 7 threes. I'm sure our stats and graphics department will be all over that.
He can fill it up all right. It's good to see a young player with a really nice ability to shoot the ball. It's Tompkinson. A little bit dejected, this Wellington College side, but they'll have to bounce back. Only day one. It's the beauty of these competitions. You got a chance to get after it again tomorrow. And I'm sure Wellington College will be fired up about their next matchup. There's no room to dwell on a win or a loss.
No, you have to have that resiliency to do well at this tournament.
Some strategic fouls to get the subs in. There's a look at the Wellington College coach, Salo Taufali, old boy of Wellington College himself.
Yeah, they've had some illustrious old boys. Dion Brewster, of course, tall black from Wellington College, very notable. Craig Bradshaw, Jordan Mills. We mentioned Isaac Latoa earlier. Just some of the prominent NBL and New Zealand level players that have come through Dub C program.
Tim Kent-Royds puts one in for two. Other subs, so Sparky Dickel able to clear his small bench of 4 players. They've done well, Christ College. Really deserved this win. Still they look to run the back door. Look, flash out of the high post. You can see job done for those starting players for Christ College, able to watch on and get a little bit of rest before they do battle again tomorrow. Here's Haven Dixon. Nice little rip and go to the basket.
Yeah, well, Wellington College, I believe, has only the single game tomorrow against Kashmir, so they're going to have a chance to bounce back in that regard, whereas Christ's move on to play Kelston boys.
.15 seconds to go on this one.
Of course, don't leave us. There's another big eliminator game coming on in a few minutes' time between St Hilda's, the South Island champions, and the girls, and Hutt Valley, the runners-up from Zone 3.
the scramble. And Christ College will look to just dribble this one out. Victorious in their Pool B second game against Wellington College. Probably a little bit more than people expected, but a very good win for Mark Dickel and his team from Christ College, getting up over Wellington College from Wellington 77 to 53.